Imagine it's 1997, and Jeff Bezos is on the phone in his tiny Seattle office, dialed into a dusty fax machine, desperately trying to keep customers happy while shipping books from a garage. He's not just selling books, though. He's dreaming of a store that has everything, where your next purchase arrives before you even realize you need it. But how do you build that? How do you outsmart giants like Barnes and Noble with barely a fraction of their resources? Bezos isn't just playing retail, he's rewriting the rules. And the secret sauce is buried deep inside Amazon's culture, one no outsiders ever fully cracked until now. Amazon didn't start as a tech giant, it was a scrappy startup. But Bezos's vision was gargantuan, creating tension between his wild dreams and the gritty reality of shipping books. How does a guy from a hedge fund turn a garage into a future empire? Jeff Bezos, a 30-something former Wall Street analyst, set up shop in his garage in Bellevue, Washington in 1994. Despite a lucrative career at D.E. Shaw, he quit to chase a crazy idea: selling books online, a market basically non-existent. Early on, he mailed out orders himself, balancing spreadsheets and parcels. His biggest gamble: betting on the internet's future rather than a stable career. That first 1,000 book inventory and his obsessive packing rituals set the stage for something much bigger, and he had no clue how big yet. Bezos built Amazon around an almost freakish obsession with customer experience. It was like baseball player practicing his swing thousands of times. For Bezos, obsessing over the one-click buy button, speedy delivery, and customer reviews was a way to kill competitors quietly. Imagine Amazon as a machine, every nut and bolt designed not to maximize profit, but to delight the buyer. This relentless focus wasn't just a tactic, it was the engine that drove explosive growth amid chaos. The everything store wasn't just a marketing phrase, it was Bezos's North Star. He compared his ambition to Henry Ford's impact on manufacturing. Bezos didn't just want to sell books, he aimed for Amazon to become the biggest, fastest, lowest-cost store on the planet. This gravitational pull kept pulling Amazon into new markets: electronics, toys, groceries, and revolutionized retail logistics forever. By the time the world caught up, Amazon was already years ahead, rewriting the rules of commerce. Amazon's inside culture is like stepping into a fortress, cutthroat competition cloaked in secrecy. Bezos demanded more than you can imagine. What kind of place breeds innovation while burning out the faint-hearted? One quirky rite of passage at Amazon: new employees start by coding at a door desk, literally a desk made from an old door. This humble start was Bezos's way to embed frugality and humility. Beyond that, he enforced brutal efficiency routines, from endless metrics to the famous 6-page memos that replaced PowerPoints. Every meeting was a battle royale where ideas faced deadly scrutiny, fueling innovation but crushing comfort zones. Bezos built Amazon like a secret society. Employees weren't allowed to talk about the company's projects outside. Even internal teams operated in silos. One team might not know what the other was building until it launched. This secrecy wasn't paranoia, it was strategic. Stone describes it as a kind of startup mafia, a protective shell that kept competitors in the dark and Amazon's innovations unspoiled, fueling surprise launches that stunned industries. Customer obsession wasn't just about the client, it seeped into internal expectations. Bezos expected his teams to be as obsessed with customer outcomes as their own career success. This led to relentless pressure, high turnover, but breakthroughs like Prime and Kindle. It was a culture where working harder for users wasn't optional, it was survival. That drove results, but also made Amazon infamous as a bruising workplace. Amazon wasn't just a bookstore, it was a data monster that weaponized technology. Bezos knew to outpace competitors, you have to predict, not react. How did data and tech turn Amazon into a retail juggernaut? Early Amazon struggled with inventory management. Tracking thousands of SKUs with manual processes was a nightmare. Bezos brought in engineers who developed sophisticated algorithms to predict demand, optimize warehouses, and speed shipping. This wasn't just logistics, it was a revolution in controlling complexity. Suddenly, Amazon knew what you wanted before you did, minimizing stockouts and costs, giving a huge edge over traditional retailers still stuck in paper catalogs. The infamous one-click purchasing patent is a perfect example of Bezos's tech genius. Instead of forcing customers through clunky forms, one click made buying addictive, intuitive, even dangerous for impulse spending. It was like magic, a tiny change that triggered huge behavioral shifts, rewriting the user experience rulebook. Bezos understood the real battle was for attention and ease, not just price or selection. Then came Oz, Amazon Web Services, the startup inside a startup. Bezos bet that Amazon's own cloud infrastructure could be sold to others desperate for computing power. This risky bet paid off, spawning an industry giant behind the scenes, making Amazon not just a retailer but a tech infrastructure powerhouse. It's the cash cow many don't see, but that bankrolls Amazon's retail ambitions. Amazon didn't just follow markets, it created them. The Kindle embodies Bezos's penchant for risk and reinvention. But what happens when disruption comes at enormous personal and financial cost? Bezos understood that Amazon's book business faced a threat. E-books could steal traditional sales. Instead of fearing this, he embraced it. The Kindle was designed to kickstart a new digital reading world, even if it meant eating Amazon's own physical book sales. Bezos was willing to cannibalize the old business to create a new one, and that mindset has defined Amazon's moves ever since, from toys to groceries. The Kindle's launch wasn't smooth sailing. Early skepticism inside Amazon was brutal, with leaks and resistance from publishers who saw it as a threat. Bezos pressed on, driven by a long-term vision. The device itself had clunky hardware and pricing challenges, but Bezos' bet on the ecosystem. Whispers of an e-book revolution swirled. That gamble paid off, redefining reading and giving publishers a new platform, but only after a tense internal struggle that nearly sunk it. Kindle was just a beachhead. Bezos expanded his risk-taking culture into streaming video, original content, and even groceries with Amazon Fresh. Each area was a bleeding-edge bet, often losing money for years, but relentlessly pushing Amazon into new markets. Bezos's appetite for disruption turned Amazon into a sprawling empire where failure wasn't scary. It was the cost of playing to win. Jeff Bezos is unlike Silicon Valley's rockstar founders. Private, notoriously demanding, yet obsessed with the future. What drives this rare visionary, and how does his personality shape Amazon's legend? Bezos's leadership style is a blend of cold ruthlessness and laser focus. He's famous for his disagree and commit meetings that pressure teams to identify every flaw, no ego allowed. Stone describes moments when Bezos pushed executives to the brink, demanding high standards, not just for output but personal accountability. This wasn't cruelty for its own sake, but a method to extract genius under pressure, one many couldn't survive but few could match. Bezos isn't content reigning over retail. From space exploration with Blue Origin to the sprawling cloud computing frontier with Oz, he's a man chasing new worlds. His obsession with long-term bets, 10, 20, even 50 years ahead, showcases a kind of fearless patience rare in business. Rather than riding existing waves, Bezos insists on inventing new ones, ensuring Amazon doesn't just adapt but leads. Despite building a public empire, Bezos guards his personal life fiercely. Unlike the selfies and tweets common today's tech CEOs, Bezos is famous for retreating into privacy. His rare family interviews and behind-the-scenes glimpses reveal a man driven not by fame, but by a deep hunger to solve problems at scale. This privacy feeds the mystique of Amazon, a company run by a man whose ambitions are as vast as his silence. Remember that tiny garage in Seattle, Bezos with his faxes and boxes? That's the seed of Amazon, a company born from obsession, risk, and secrecy. But beyond the tech and logistics, the Everything Store teaches us that transforming industries demands a vision so audacious it borders on madness. Bezos's story is a masterclass in balancing humility and ruthlessness. Try this. Pick one corner of your work or life where you can obsess with ruthless focus. Channel a little Bezos, not for glory, but for the chance to rewrite your own rules. Subscribe for more book summaries like this one.